वेलकम टू माय चैनल सीटेट विद सिमरन मैम। आज के इस वीडियो में हम देखेंगे सीटेट दिसंबर 2019 के पेपर 2 का लैंग्वेज सेकंड इंग्लिश। अगर आपको लैंग्वेज सेकंड इंग्लिश पेपर फर्स्ट का चाहिए तो उसका मैं वीडियो ऑलरेडी बना चुकी हूँ, उसका लिंक मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दे दूंगी, वहां से आप क्लिक करके उसको देख सकते हैं। तो चलिए बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए हुए इस वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। Directions: read the passage given below and answer the questions. Question number 121 to 128 that follow by selecting the correct most appropriate options. As science progress, superstitions ought to grow less. On the whole, that is true. However, it is surprising how superstitions linger on. If we are tempted to look down on savage tribes for holding such ideas, we should remember that even today among the most civilized nations, a great many equally stupid superstitions exist and are believed in by a great many people. Some people will not sit down 13 at a table or will not like to start anything important on a Friday or refuse to walk under a ladder. Many people buy charms and talisman because they think they will bring them luck. Even in civilized nations today, many laws are made on the basis of principles which are just as much unproved. For instance, it is often held as a principle that white people are by nature superior to people of other colors. The ancient Greeks believed that they were superior to the people of northern and western Europe. The only way to see if there is anything in such a principle is to make scientific studies of a number of white and black and brown people under different conditions of life and find out just what they can and cannot achieve. It is, however, true that the increase of scientific knowledge does reduce superstition and also baseless guessing and useless arguments and practices. Civilized people do not argue and get angry about what water is composed of. The composition of water is known and there is no argument about it. Question 121. Who believed in superstitions? Option 1, only some civilized nations. Option 2, only some tribals. Option 3, all tribals and some civilized nations. Option 4, all civilized nations. The correct option is option 3, all the tribals and some civilized nations. Question 122. Study the following statements. Statement A, ancient Greeks were superior to other European nations. Statement B, science help us fight superstitions. Option 1, A is wrong and B is right. Option 2, both A and B are right. Option 3, both A and B are wrong. Option 4, A is right and B is wrong. The correct option is option 1, A is wrong and B is right. Question 123. Which part of his speech is the underlined word in the following sentence on the whole that is true? That is, that को underline किया गया है. Then option 1, pronoun. Option 2, conjunction. Option 3, preposition. Option 4, determiner. The correct option is option 1, pronoun. Question 124. Identify the part of his speech of underlined word in the following sentence. It is often held that as a principle. Often को underline किया गया है. Option 1, adverb. Option 2, adjective. Option 3, preposition. Option 4, pronoun. The correct option is option 1, adverb. Question 125. Fill in the blank in the following sentence. Fill in the blank मतलब dash है and then is opposite in meaning to the word superior. Option 1, prior. Option 2, inferior. Option 3, lower. Option 4, higher. The correct option is option 2, inferior. Question 126. The statement which best sums up the passage is option 1, irrational beliefs decline with the advancement of science. Option 2, civilized nations are no less superstitions than the savage tribes. Option 3, we are very different from the savage nations in our beliefs. Option 4, superstitions disappear with the advancement of science. The correct option is option 3. The correct option is option 1. Irrational beliefs decline with the advancement of science. Question 127. We should not despise the savage tribes because option 1, they indulge in useless arguments. Option 2, they have stopped being superstitious. Option 3, we are no less superstitious than they are. Option 4, they do not believe in science. The correct option is option 3. We are no less superstitious than they are. Question 128. Which of the following has a scientific basis for it? Option 1, number 13 is inauspicious. Option 2, talismans and charms always bring luck. Option 3, Fridays are as good as other days. Option 4, we should not walk under a ladder. The correct option is option 3, Fridays are as good as other days. फिर उसके बाद नेक्स्ट पैसेज है तो उसका डायरेक्शन है. डायरेक्शंस. रीड द पैसेज गिवन बिलो एंड आंसर द क्वेश्चंस दैट फॉलो. क्वेश्चन नंबर 129 to 135 by selecting the correct and most appropriate options. If asked what matters are related to health, that is health decisions, most of us would answer hospitals, doctors and pills. Yet we are all making a whole range of decisions about our health which go beyond this limited area of doctors, pills, etc. For example, whether or not to smoke, take exercise, wear a seat belt, drive a motorbike, drink alcohol regularly, etc. The way we reach decisions and form attitudes about our health is only just beginning to be understood. The main paradox is why people consistently do things which are known to be very hazardous. Two interesting examples of this are smoking and not wearing seat belts. Addiction makes smokers keep on smoking, and whether to wear a seat belt or not is affected by safety considerations. Taken together, both these examples show how people reach decisions about their health. Understanding this process is crucial. Only then we can effectively change public attitude towards voluntary activities like smoking. Smokers run the risk of contracting heart disease several times more as compared to non-smokers. Even lung cancer, despite extensive press campaigns which have regularly told smokers and car drivers the grave risk they are running. The number of smokers and non-wearers of seat belts has remained much the same. Although the numbers of deaths from road accidents and smoking are well publicized, they have aroused little public interest. If we give smokers the real figures of deaths caused by smoking, will it affect their views on the dangers of smoking? Unfortunately not. Many of the real figures are in the form of probable estimates, and evidence shows that the people are very bad at understanding this kind of information. Question 129. Study the following statements. Statement A. Though it is very dangerous, some people don't quit smoking. Statement B. Whether or not to drink alcohol is not a health decision. Option 1. A is wrong, B is right. Option 2. Both A and B are right. Option 3. Both A and B are wrong. Option 4. A is right and B is wrong. The correct option is option 4. A is right and B is wrong. Question 130. Which of the following pieces of advice can be easily ignored by the people? Option 1. Wear a seatbelt. Option 2. Don't drink alcohol. Option 3. Don't drive a motorbike. Option 4. Don't smoke. The correct option is option 3. Don't drive a motorbike. Question 131. Which part of a speech is the underlined word in the following sentence? At we are all making a whole range of decisions. At को underline किया गया है. Then option 1 conjunction, option 2 pronoun, option 3 preposition, option 4 adverb. The correct option is option 1 conjunction. Question 132. Which part of his speech is the underlined word in the following sentence? Understanding this process is crucial. This को underline किया गया है. Then option 1 preposition, option 2 adverb, option 3 conjunction, option 4 determiner. The correct option is option 4 determiner. Question 133. Smokers run double the risk of contracting heart disease. The word contracting here means option 1 removing, option 2 catching, option 3 avoiding, option 4 receiving. The correct option is option 2 catching. Question 134. An example of limited area of health is option 1 taking exercise, option 2 wearing a seatbelt, option 3 taking medicines, option 4 smoking. The correct option is option 3 taking medicines. The question number 135. Why does a common man choose to wear a seat belt? Option 1, he wants to protect himself. Option 2, it is fitted in the car. Option 3, for fear of the policeman. Option 4, there is a law for it. The correct option is option 1, he wants to protect himself. Question 136. According to National Curriculum Framework 2005, which one of the following is not an object of language teaching learning? Option 1, ability to read with comprehension. Option 2, effortless expression. Option 3, to know the history of languages. Option 4, the competence to understand what one hears. The correct option is option 3, to know the history of languages. Question 137. Which one of the following is not true of language learning? Option 1, grammatical rules are important for learning a language. Option 2, language learning takes time. Option 3, language learning needs a context. Option 4, reading is making meaning. The correct option is option 1, grammatical rules are important for learning a language. Question 138. Which is an effective way of teaching learning grammar? Option 1, presenting grammar form in a natural discourse, then explaining How to form is made and used. Option 2, presenting single sentence examples in plenty of ways and then explaining the form. Option 3, teaching through a typical grammar book. Option 4, teaching the rules first followed by example. The correct option is option 1, presenting grammar form in a natural discourse, then explaining how to form is made and used. Question 139, what status is given to English language in the Indian Constitution? Option 1, associate official language. Option 2, official language. Option 3, foreign language. Option 4, recognized language. The correct option is option 1, associate official language. Question 140, a language teacher asked learners to write a paragraph on scarcity of water. Learners gather information from science and social science books and other sources before writing. Such task aims at option 1, completing the syllabus of other subjects simultaneously. Option 2, achieving language learning across the curriculum. Option 3, enhancing co-curricular skills. Option 4, developing the scientific attitude. The correct option is option 2, achieving language learning across the curriculum. Question 141, which of the following is not an assessment tool for language learning? Option 1, portfolio. Option 2, assignment. Option 3, realia. Option 4, observation schedule. The correct option is option 3, realia. Question 142, teaching a novel is to promote. Option 1, reading for details. Option 2, reading to become a writer. Option 3, reading to learn vocabulary. Option 4, reading for pleasure. The correct option is option 4, reading for pleasure. Question 143, storytelling as a strategy in language teaching is aimed at. Option 1, learning to retell the story. Option 2, engaging learners with language. Option 3, testing the memory of learners. Option 4, learning the morals. The correct option is option 2, engaging learners with language. Question 144, input hypothesis refers to. Option 1, the relationship between what languages the learners know and the languages they are taught. Option 2, the relationship among the learner, teacher and the materials. Option 3, all the input of the school. Option 4, the relationship between what the learner is exposed to of a language and language acquisition. The correct option is option 4, the relationship between what the learner is exposed to of a language and language acquisition. Question 145, which of the following make the communication a cyclic process? Option 1, receiver. Option 2, feedback. Option 3, message. Option 4, sender. The correct option is option 2, feedback. Question 146, top-down process of reading. Option 1, proceeds from part to whole. Option 2, proceeds from center to periphery. Option 3, proceeds from bottom to top. Option 4, proceeds from whole to part. The correct option is option 4, proceeds from a whole to part. Question 147, a teacher asked her learners to discuss in groups of 4, jot down ideas and then develop them in an outline to write a paragraph. Learners then added the paragraph into a final draft. Which strategy of writing does the teacher follow here? Option 1, process approach. Option 2, product approach. Option 3, discussion method. Option 4, group work. The correct option is option 1, process approach. Question 148, transactional listening. Option 1, lays emphasis on harmonious communication in the social context. Option 2, does not require careful attention to details and facts. Option 3, is interactive by nature. Option 4, lays emphasis on conveying information. The correct option is option 4, lays emphasis on conveying information. Question 149, CALP stands for. CALP means capital C, capital A, capital L, capital P. Stands for. Option 1, cognitively advanced language proficiency. Option 2, competency based academic language proficiency. Option 3, comparative academic language proficiency. Option 4, cognitively academic language proficiency. The correct option is option 1, cognitively advanced language proficiency. Question 150, a task based language learning means. Option 1, a piece of work designed by the teacher for language teacher. Option 2, a textbook exercise to be carried out by learners individuals. Option 3, a task for the teacher for assessing learners' language learning. Option 4, an activity where the target language is used by the learner for a communicative purpose. The correct option is option 4, and activity where the target language is used by the learner for a communicative purpose. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग माई वीडियो. अगर आपको ये वीडियो यूजफुल लगी हो तो इसे लाइक करिए और सीटेट स्टूडेंट्स के साथ इसको जरूर शेयर करिए. अगर आप चैनल पे नए हैं तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करिए और बेल आइकन को प्रेस करके ऑल पे क्लिक करिए ताकि मेरे आने वाले हर वीडियो की नोटिफिकेशंस आपको मिलती रहे. अगर सीटेट से रिलेटेड कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है तो कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखिए, मैं उसका आंसर जरूर करूंगी. तो चलिए फिर मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए बाय बाय.